Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another special report here at ASS News. I am Asman bin Likin, and we have a special interview here today. Over at the J6 rally, we have with us Mr. Curtis Smith. Hello, Mr. Curtis?
Oh, hey, what's going on?
How are you doing today, Mr. Curtis? How's it going?
Yeah, me and the boys are just talking here, and yeah, it's quite a rally today.
That's great. How's it looking down on the field right now over at the J6 rally?
Hold on, what's that? Sorry. Yes. Everything's going.
I'm sorry, but who's that in your ear?
Oh, I was just talking to the boys over here. We're thinking about getting some grub after this, hitting the bar and slaying some puss. But that's normal guy stuff. This is just we're gonna hold on. What's that? Yep, copy. Sorry. Yeah. This whole rally. Wow, what an amazing treat for us Patriots, right, fellas? See, yeah, they get it.
Yeah, it really looks like it. I mean, you guys don't look suspicious at all. I mean, you just fit right in like you're supposed to be there. So tell me, what does January 6th mean to you and your boys?
Hold on. Sorry. Get emotional when you say January 6th. It's just really triggers me. Sorry. When I hear about
why would it trigger you?
Just because there's so many patriots, so many good people locked up by me and the boys. I mean, by the evil federal government for staging and voicing their concern over the election, and that was stolen from them. Yeah,
staging? Who was doing the staging?
No, they weren't. What staging? I don't know where you're getting this word. These your words, not mine. Say that again.
Okay.
Tango in the back. Sorry. Go ahead.
Who do you keep on talking to? And are you guys satisfied with the turnout?
The turnout, we were expecting it to be a lot bigger, at least 69 times bigger. And honestly, kind of bummed. Really hoping to see some action today. I mean, I was hoping that we really get a lot of, devoted patriots to our nation who want to voice.
Like, did you want to, charge the Capitol or something? Like, what kind of action were you hoping for?
Oh, no, sorry. No, not at that type of action. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, go ahead. The producer in my earpiece is really, he's really messing me up.
We don't have any producer in your ear.
I'm sorry?
We don't have any producer in your. Well, Curtis, who all are you with? I mean, can you give us some of their names?
I mean, I got my boy Joey over here, Mike, Chad. And then they're not. She's not pictured on here. We got Candace over here.
Oh, Candace? Who's Candace?
Jay, how do we pull that off?
How do we do it? How do we do it?
How do we do it?
Welcome, Habibis, to another Habibi Power Hour.
And this is the part where what's his name? We'll see how boomer Spencer can be with getting our intro in. Can he do it? Or am I going to be?
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ plus.
No, I'm not going to sip and put my mask on. Sip and put my mask on. Sip and put my mask on.
Allahu Akbar.
Did Spencer just end that shit? Oh, come on, Spencer. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, the Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. How you doing tonight, Jay?
I am doing wonderful. I missed you guys. I missed doing this live. I mean, we had no live episode last week.
I
Just
know.
getting things settled in.
I just want to say I'm very happy that that Spencer is just as big of a boomer as me in terms of Spencer's our producer who needs to be fired right now.
He does, and he's like, what, 10 years younger than we are, too, and he still doesn't understand how to use a computer?
Probably more. So Janice says the lack of tech skills is breathtaking. That's what you get when you sign up for Habibi Power Hour. You get just the finest in tech.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a prerequisite that you need to be just a little bit of a boomer when it comes to working on computers.
Yeah.
And basically anything in life, really. I mean,
but Jay, I mean, first order of business is this, and that is, please come on Habibi Power Hour, Jen Rubin. Please, we're begging you.
Jen.
I would. Nothing would make these two fine individuals, these fine, handsome young men in their early 30s, with 2-inch size penises combined, hard to join us on Habibi Power Hour. We would treat you with fairness and respect,
like the queen that you are,
like the queen that you are,
like
the goddess among mere mortals that you are.
We will pray to you. We would pray to you. I mean,
we will essentially 100% pray to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat your ass, but maybe Siraj would.
Putting words in my mouth, but then again,
whatever it takes, right, Siraj? Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Jennifer Rubin, heed our call. Make honest men out of us. Hobby says this is so your wife can actually buy you clothing that is acceptable in public rather than whatever it is you own. I happen to be wearing Habibi Bro merch just like Jay, so Jay falls in the same category. Although, what? Although this is a pretty dope bucket hat, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. And especially in Florida, I mean, I don't see how you could not have something like that in your closet.
I have to. So yes. Now that we got our primary business out of the way, as always, Habibis, you can always watch all of our episodes on Rumble. And you can find us on Twitter at Habibi_Bros. And then if you haven't already, go ahead and check out the Habibi Discord server and our link tree in the description of this video. Because we like to have fun with the Habibis offline and talk about a lot of the stories that we can't always get to, and also discuss a lot of list nominees, and of course Jay eating people's asses. So
right. And I do that behind a paywall because we don't want to be canceled.
Exactly. So there you'll be able to find basically all of our work, our Habibi Bros merch store, our Patreon, in which we actually do a lot of interviews. We've had guests on like Glenn Greenwald and Ben Shapiro, and maybe one day, inshallah, Tulsi Gabbard and Jennifer Rubin. So,
oh my God, if we had Tulsi Gabbard on, I would.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard is your Moby Dick, just like Jen Rubin is my Moby Dick.
Well, what is that giant peach? It's what was that book?
James and the Giant Peach.
She's my giant peach.
Naturally. So I have to say, Jay, there was because we didn't do a live episode last week, and we did interviews instead. We had Drew Holden on, great guest, Rita Panahy, because she I don't know if she Aussified it or Americanized it, but I thought it was Panay for some reason.
I did too. It's because, to be honest, I thought she was of Pakistani descent, so I thought it was Panay. I mean, because if you were Pakistani or Indian, it would be Panay.
Yeah.
Panay.
So I say it in my natural Pakistani accent. Rita Panay.
Panay.
Man, there was so much news we missed that last week, and so I think what Jay and I decided to do this week is we were going to do 2 live shows, just us, to make up for what we missed. So tonight we're going to get to the news that is most pressing, and the very first thing that comes to our radar is what's happening down at the border. Now, there's a lot of different stories that we're going to get to, but the very first one, Jay, I mean, we've seen a bunch of videos of what's happening down at the border. And basically there are, in the tens of thousands of Haitians who are now trying to cross into the southern border through Mexico into Texas. And there's just, I mean, like, first of all, this story was ignored quite a bit. It's not uncommon to have migrants cross into the United States pretty much at any given point in the year. Usually the season heats up in the summer, no pun intended. But what was kind of interesting and what finally got sort of, I want to say, corporate media attention, and by corporate media I mean largely left-leaning publications and news channels like CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post, is this particular story about agents from Customs and Border Protection supposedly or allegedly whipping migrants. Here's a little video. Okay, so that's, I mean, those are Customs and Border Protection agents on horses, and they are, according to a number of different sources, like, what is it? I want to say basically every pundit within the MSNBC and CNN saying that they're using whips on people, and it brings us back to time of slavery. And so, like, let me just play some of the clips that we've seen. Here's Maxine Waters at Capitol Hill today.
To be able to petition to get into the country. What the hell are we doing here? What we witnessed takes us back hundreds of years. What we witnessed was worse than what we witnessed in slavery. Cowboys with their reins again, whipping black people, Haitians, into the water where they're scrambling and falling down, and all they're trying to do is escape from violence in their country. Yes?
All right, so that was Representative Maxine Waters, a House Democrat. And then here is Vice President Kamala Harris speaking, asked about it by the press corps.
Would want to give them if we met people like Jamie. So
Madam Vice President, do you have any reaction to the Border Patrol agents using horse reins to rein in Haitian migrants down at the southern border?
What I saw depicted about those individuals on horseback treating human beings the way they were is horrible. And I fully support what is happening right now, which is a thorough investigation into exactly what is going on there. But human beings should never be treated that way. And I'm deeply troubled about it. And I'll also be talking to Secretary Mayorkas today about it.
And just as your role as, stemming migration from Central America, are you also going to be looking into, looking at migration issues in Haiti as well?
Well, listen, the whole point is that we have to understand Haiti. I mean, talk about a country that has just experienced so much tragedy that has been about natural disasters, the head of state assassinated. And we really have to do a lot more to recognize that as a member of the Western Hemisphere, we've got to support some very basic needs that the people of Haiti have to get back up and to do what folks naturally want to do, be them from Haiti or in the countries in Central America. People want to stay home. They don't want to leave home. But they leave when they cannot satisfy their basic needs. So, yes, this is a concern.
Thank you all so very much.
Okay, so number of tweets here I want to just show you real quick. We have Yamiche El-Sindor, the anchor and moderator of Washington Week on PBS, who has made the list several times for some pretty misleading tweets. But anyway, she tweets out, White House press secretary calls images of what looks like Border Patrol on horseback rounding up Haitian migrants with whips horrific, and says this should never happen again. She adds that she needs the full context, but doesn't think anyone seeing this would see it as acceptable. Continuing on, Chev Jones, there's a Florida state senator, says these images are not from 1892. This is from 2021, and everyone of us should be outraged. Our Haitian brothers and sisters have gone through the assassination of a president, a catastrophic earthquake, constant political unrest, gang violence, and the list goes on. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, tweeted out the images of inhumane treatment of Haitian migrants by Border Patrol, including the use of whips, are unacceptable. They are fleeing violence and natural disaster and seeking protection in our country. The administration must uphold our refugee laws and stop Title 42 deportations. And this one from Qasim Rashid. This tweets out, CBP is whipping Haitian refugees seeking asylum. This is both grotesquely inhumane and also illegal. Seeking asylum is a human right. It is accomplished by crossing the border and asking for asylum. Blocking asylum seekers violates American law.
Everything's a fucking right to these people. It's insane. It's fucking insane. And it's amazing how a lie like this can be thrown into the fire by the same people who want to say that your grandmother sharing a meme on Facebook is a real cause of misinformation. It's just stunning. We watch it time and time again when this stuff happens. And they want to say who's responsible for these inhumane conditions that the Haitians are living in. It's the person who's fucking ignoring it. It's the guy who walks away every time somebody wants to ask him a fucking question. Who are they looking to blame?
Yeah, no, it's wild because first of all, and as we discuss this right now, the terminology whips, specifically that on horseback, obviously is supposed to invoke a very painful memory for a lot of people, particularly the Black community, because it invokes the memory of slavery and slave owners on horseback whipping slaves when Black people were considered property back then.
I feel bad for that 350-year-old grandmother who's experiencing those flashbacks.
I hate you so much, Jay. But here's the thing. These weren't whips. They were split reins used not to whip the actual migrants, but to maneuver their horse. And anyone who understands horseback riding, particularly in a very tight space in which they're trying to prevent the CBP officers. And look, I am actually, I am on the side of the Haitian migrants coming to the United States and seeking asylum because they have such a horrible situation going on in Haiti. And I want them to at least seek a place where they're welcomed in this country, or welcomed anywhere, really. Unfortunately, they're being brought up by human traffickers and smugglers. And that's the only reason that you're seeing them come through the southern border of Texas. Normally, they would be coming through Florida. I think during the first Bush administration in the early 90s, I think 12,000 or so Haitian migrants came on the shores of Florida. And here's where the plot gets even crazier, because this is a story that broke earlier today. And that is Yamiche tweeting out this one more time. Let me just pull it up here.
Yamish.
Yamish, she tweets out, as it scrambles to deal with Haitian migrants at the border, the Biden administration is seeking a private contractor to operate a migrant detention facility at Guantanamo Bay with a requirement that some of the guards speak Spanish and Haitian Creole. Now, Jay, how the fuck did we go from basically go from, you know, kids in cages under Trump to kids in cages under Biden to opening up Guantanamo Bay for Haitian migrants? How the fuck did we get that? How did we fucking get here?
Which is hilarious because as VP, their promise was to close Guantanamo Bay, and now they're going to be using it for migrants seeking asylum. And it is amazing watching this go full circle. And we have silence in the media over these contrasts. I mean, like you were saying, it was kids in cages for like 4 years when Trump was president. Now it's silence over this issue until they are able to capture the memories of slavery. It's just so fucking sick on the point of the media, and to the point of this administration, they're doing the bare minimum, it seems like, and not even acknowledging or coming up and showcasing the horror of the issue at the border when you're seeing so many of these migrants just tucked away underneath a bridge, open air, no real shelter or no real food or any place to go even use the bathroom. It's a horrible, horrible situation, and they don't even come up to acknowledge it. The only thing they did was wait for some made up crisis or some made up issue to come up where they can come and be like, oh, we're against racism. Well, no shit, you stupid fucks. Is that the only thing you know how to come up and say and talk about or point out as an issue? It's just so fucking horrible. It really is. And nobody's holding these people accountable.
Kate Hyde says if Jay was a border agent, he wouldn't be riding a horse. He'd be riding a donkey, so he could just tell everybody he rides ass.
That's fine. I don't even have to ride a donkey. All I say is I ride Dan's mom, and people understand.
Okay, so, you know, there are a lot of different takes on this. And, you know, Jay, we have talked about this, you know, the border situation ad nauseum. You know, things never change. And you and I probably both are on the side of being very humanitarian, and that these people need to be treated with actually humanely. And, you know, you can make critiques about CBP stopping a lot of these migrants at the border. And if you're very, you know, if you're like very open borders, these people are crossing illegally for one. So it's part of United States law to defend the border. And if they're not crossing into a border checkpoint, and say claiming asylum, they're crossing into the country illegally, then there is justification there for Customs and Border Protection to arrest them. But that's not the discussion that's being had. What's being had is a focus on whips, and it's a focus on how, and I think that the most insane take I think I've seen, I don't know if it's here.
Worse than Maxine Waters saying that this is worse than slavery.
No, it's another one. Well, Maxine Waters tweeted out, and this is also kind of funny just how it came about, because Maxine Waters tweeted out Haitians fleeing violence and the lack of a credible government in Haiti are being treated like animals. U.S. government cowboys on horses use whips on Haitians as they sought refuge. Why are we following the Trump policies? This horrendous treatment of Haitians must stop now. And you have AOC retweeting that, which is also fascinating considering
a liar and a fake retweeting a liar and a fake. It's awesome.
So one of the things that's also interesting is I haven't seen AOC head to the border and start crying at one of these facilities, or even just crying at Guantanamo Bay.
I mean, she could go cry on top of the bridge. That would be even better than an empty parking lot.
Where is the fucking outrage?
Well, she just said this is not who we are.
Yeah, this is not who
we are. Tweeted that shit out.
Nick says, "Watch me whip, watch me nay. I hate you so much, Nick." Hold on. Let me pull up that take because it truly is one of the most bizarre ones I've seen in relation to the United States trying to defend its own borders. I mean, people may not like that the United States has a border, but every country does, and you can't just cross into it and not tell them who you are, verify your identity, and if that country doesn't want you to enter, they have every right to turn you away. I don't get I truly just don't understand how broken some people's brains are to think that, oh, I don't have to, I'm entitled to be in this country. Therefore, any customs and border protection trying to come after me and arrest me, I should ignore them. And I'm just going to go ahead and do as I please. Like, people just don't care about law and order in this country. And they don't care about the rule of law. And but like, people are very selective about rule of law. They care about only the laws they only care about the laws being enforced are the ones that they like. They think it's almost like everybody thinks they're a fucking like civil rights icon and basically like they can pick and choose which laws they like and don't like, and laws that they don't like, they basically say, oh, I don't have to respect that law. It's immoral, or amoral, and no American should follow it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's kind of like also we'll get into it a little bit, but it's kind of like the vaccine mandates as well. I mean, if they're really concerned about, things disproportionately affecting minorities, that's one right there. But the same people who are lying and pretending that there were whips used are cheering on the vaccine passports, are cheering on kicking out people from places who are
not just kicking out. So yeah, that will segue to our next segment, but not just kicking people out, but like, how in the beginning of the pandemic, people were talking about how specifically the left in relation to all the government shutdown, and not the government shutdowns, the COVID lockdowns, everything shut down. Small businesses are shut down. Schools are shut down. People were put out of work, and there was an eviction moratorium. Okay. That is still in place. And many Americans receive stimmy checks, me included, because
being unemployed.
Because I'm an unemployed lib. But what I'm trying to get at here is the fact that as soon as the conversation around like, everybody needs to be locked down and hunkered down and avoid spreading COVID, evicting anyone from their home was considered cruel. Now the conversation has changed so that like when this vaccine mandate has gone into effect, there are different entities, different, property management companies, different apartment complexes. They're requiring, they're mandating the vaccine in their own property. So they're mandating that their tenants get the vaccine, and if they don't, they're going to evict them. How is that and then you see a lot of people on the left cheer that shit.
Right.
Which is insane. Like, just the cognitive dissonance is driving me insane.
Oh, of course. They don't even see it that way. They don't, because they're so delusioned on like what the world is and how it functions and how it works. And it's really funny because the excuse on it, like, for example, Henry Rogers was asked, like, well, if you think that any policy that disproportionately affects Black people is racist, what do you think about vaccine mandates? And instead of saying that it's racist, he's just saying that there's a lack of accessibility for them to go get them the vaccine. And I don't know, man. CVS's are pretty much in every fucking neighborhood. Same thing with Rite Aids and Publix over in Florida. They're pretty much everywhere and scattered everywhere for people to be able to go and get access to.
You were about to call it Publix.
I was about to call it Publix. I really was. I mean, but it's Publix. I was gonna go PUP, but I mean, it's a complete total cop out because they don't want to go into the real issue of actually talking to people who are vaccine hesitant. They don't want to go into that issue. there's a lot of minorities and black people who are vaccine hesitant. It's not just white Republicans, and they don't want to admit that because it affects their narrative.
Yeah. Before we move on and talk more about COVID, I just want to highlight this insane take because I finally found it, and this is from Robert Evans. Let me zoom in on this. Oh, fuck, I'm on the wrong. Zooming in on the wrong. All right. So Robert Evans, who is not just some rando, he has 215,000 followers, and he's a journalist. Just doesn't have a blue check. So he tweets out, "Borders are systems of violence. The U.S.-Mexican border is among the most innovative and bloody of these. Auschwitz learned from El Paso." Jay, what the fuck? Come on. Can we stop talking? Can we stop, invoking the Holocaust when talking about anything? I put this shit on the list, and then some smartass tried to be like, "Oh, actually, he has a point," and then they included a particular excerpt. I think it was from an NPR article about how Zyklon B was being used as for fumigating migrants who are coming into the United States through El Paso in 1920, and they were doing it to delouse them so that lice wasn't coming into the country, and they called these particular chambers gas chambers, and apparently they jumped from that. Yeah, they jumped from that all the way to Jews and gas chambers. Like,
it's because these people are so full of themselves of being righteous that they don't care what kind of logic they use in order to make their point across. It's what they are is righteous, what you are is a Nazi. And they'll jump to any conclusion they can in order to fit that narrative. And what's really funny about people like Ivan and all of these stupid fucks that work at Vice or NPR or some shit like that is that they're very European forward in terms of that they really want us to be like the European Union. They really want us to have European policies and socialism amongst other things that are very heavy in a lot of these European countries. But there's one thing that Europe has over the United States, and that is more stringent border policies and immigration policies. To become a citizen in France, for instance, will take you almost double the time as it would as here in the United States in comparison. I mean, all you got to do is be a man, marry a white woman, and get it going. Just like my dad. Let's go. Woohoo.
Just like my dad. Let's go. So Jay, I know we're kind of, I don't want to get too much off topic. Let me pull up this rundown here. So yeah, this is all happening, and I think, this is the clip I want to pull up. It was Jen Yazaki. She was on CBS. She was on CBS this morning, basically talking about things happening at the border. And just appreciate the mental gymnastics here. Just watch this.
Answer that. People may be eligible for that. But right now, we also have to implement our laws at the border. We also want to protect people, both in that community, but also migrants. One of the challenges, as we're all facing a pandemic here, is the gathering of so many people. We're still implementing Title 42, which means that we are going to send people out of the country who come in as we implement that.
A COVID safety protocol.
Exactly.
But did you say that it's possible that that extension that applies to Haitians already here could apply to those coming across the border
Well,
now?
Tony, it's already been extended because of the turmoil on the ground. It was earlier this summer. That's something that the Secretary of Homeland Security and Secretary of State do look into. But again, as we look to the photos, not just the ones you referenced, but of all of these families and people under the bridges, we wanted to also take steps to implement our laws and to protect a lot of them from the spread of COVID as well.
You know, there's a lot of incoming, Jen, at the White House these days. What will be the
I fucking love it every time. Every time you go way too far on every single one of the videos, and I hope that continues. Like,
it'll never stop. And also because I'm always looking for other shit as like this clip is playing, so I always forget when the right time to stop it is. But look, Jay, if we are being really honest here, Biden's supporters really hate what the Biden administration is doing here. And all I have to say is, you fucking voted for this. So stop fucking complaining. I mean, I've seen Trump people complain about how Trump didn't build the border wall. I've seen them complain about how he's not being tough enough on China, or he's not doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you guys voted for this. You got to deal with it. Push him in the direction you want to go. But this is the big problem, Jay. And I think there's actually, I'm going to put the tinfoil hat on real quick. I think between a number of these different moves, you have the vaccine mandate, Afghanistan, border crisis. We'll get to the Hunter Biden laptop story in just a moment. I think all of these things are building a case to try to get Biden to resign so that Kamala Harris can finally be president. Is that way off base? Am I sounding too Alex Jonesy with that?
I think you are, because I think the DNC see Kamala Harris as somebody who's not really popular. I mean, right now she's looking a little bit more popular than Biden.
She has higher approval rating than Biden.
I know, but like, if they put her up in front, there is no way. I mean, it's going to tank. I honestly believe it's going to tank. She is unlikable as shit. I mean, when you take a shit and you accidentally get it on the toilet bowl, that is Kamala Harris.
My God, Jay, you can't fucking say that. Why? Why would you evoke that? Why is that the analogy fucking go to?
Gee, like after Taco Bell, of course. That's not like normally how I shit. It's after Taco Bell.
My God. You couldn't go with any other analogy, really?
And what's really hilarious about it and stuff is like how she wants to say that people are being safe or wanting to get people safe when they don't even give a fuck about vaccination or even testing these people before they put them on the bus and send them out to the United States. They didn't even test them. Not a test was made out of these 20,000 some fucking migrants that got into a bus and went into the United States. But they want your kid, who has less of a chance of dying of COVID compared to somebody who's vaccinated, who's fat as shit and in their 30s, like 34 or something like that. Then you understand.
Let's slow it down. Let's roll it back here, okay? Let's.
No, what I'm saying is like, why would they put their kids into for 8 hours a day in mass? But this part right here, they're not pushing for safety.
But
they're not even trying.
Jay, it's not the fault of them. It's not the fault of the migrants for coming here. It's the fault of the government for
it's the administration. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is the administration. So like, they're wanting to put mind at man. I'm not putting it on the migrants. I'm not putting it on the migrants. I'm saying it is the administration. The double standardness of it.
You use terms like fucking migrants. It sounds like you're angry at the migrants.
No, I'm angry at the whole situation. So like fucking Siraj in the ass.
I mean, that's fair too. I mean, that's. But in any event,
I didn't mean that as like fucking migrants. No.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Okay, Jay, because I know where your heart is, and sometimes you have a tendency to put your ass in your mouth, which is basically all the time. I mean, it seemed like you wanted to get banned by Twitter today. I don't know how you did it.
I don't understand it either. I thought I was going to go, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay. So, with that being discussed there, I mean, I had COVID stuff talking about later. So let's just get to that now, because there's actually a lot of dumb shit happening on that end. And, we could talk about the Emmys, but like, celebrities always want to be talked about, and fuck them. We don't care about them.
Fuck that shit.
So let's talk about people who actually run shit, like San Francisco Mayor London Breed, who literally was caught maskless at I want to say music bar. Yeah, I'll let the Habibis decide if it was a music bar or not, but she's definitely maskless.
What time is it? On your side, available. So come and play. Give me a clue. So I know I should let you. Listen down, listen down, listen down. Listen down, listen friend. She don't look nice, but I know she will. Let out tonight. Come on, let's get down. Come on, let's get down. Let's get down. Let's get down. Let's get down. Down, down.
Sorry, I don't know why I keep overplaying some of these clips. You get the idea. She was maskless. But here's where it gets even juicier. This is earlier this week, in which Mayor Breed defends herself from going maskless. Let's just watch this clip. I'm actually gonna play. It's a longer clip. It's like 6 minutes. We are gonna watch it and react to it as she is speaking. So here we go.
Time at the Black Cat. And I think it's sad that this is even a story. The fact is, there was something that was really
the fact is, Miss Mayor, is that if you got sick without even being vaccinated,
Jay, shut the fuck up. I want to hear what she has to say.
Dwayne Wiggins, who have not performed in public for, I believe, at least over 20 years. They are just really some of the most incredible artists in the history
a garbage
of
excuse.
this country and the Bay Area in particular. And the fact that that is getting lost here is very important.
That's what's getting lost.
Not to mention the incredible trumpeter.
Not the fact that they want to put masks on 8-year-old kids for 8 hours a day.
Who is just phenomenal. These incredible musicians who
Fuck you.
performed and really uplifted the
Fuck
spirits
you.
of not just myself.
No. Fuck you and fuck your spirits. Like, fuck your spirits so hard.
You know, I was there. I was eating.
Fuck your
And I
perspective.
was drinking. And I was
Hold on,
sitting
this
with
part
my
gets really
friends.
good. I saw this one.
Everyone who came in there was vaccinated. So the fact that we have turned this into a story about being maskless, no,
Right
I'm
here.
not going to sip and put my mask on, sip and put my mask on, sip and put my mask on, eat and put my mask on. While I'm eating and I'm drinking, I'm going to keep my mask off.
All right, I'm just pausing it right here, Jay. This is literally what. This is actually like policy that they implemented. Like on fucking airplanes, it's like you take a bite and then put your fucking mask back on. That is literally what they say, like want you to do. This is not like she's just mad she got caught. And I'm gonna keep playing this, but like she basically like. I don't know if she has made that connection that like the policies that she is a part of making in her city fucking suck.
Right. She's not making that connection because these people don't think it applies to them. They think that this is the stuff that applies to everyone else, but it doesn't apply to them. They can go and enjoy their lives. They don't have to make the sacrifices. You and your family have to make the sacrifices. Your kids have to make the sacrifices. I mean, throughout this whole pandemic, our kids here in this society has went up. The obesity rate went up like 13%. It was like 39% before, and now it's up to 42%. People aged 5 to 12. That's more dangerous for them than fucking COVID is. But we're not talking about that. She's over here complaining that she was able to go enjoy her life, but she's forcing these kids to wear masks or stay at home. Like,
let's keep watching.
And yes, in the end time, while we're drinking, like everyone else there, we were all having a good time. And again, all vaccinated.
Oh,
so the fact
really?
that this is even a story is sad. And
Then
it's
what?
sad.
Then why the fuck, Jay? Why did we fucking implement another fucking mask mandate, even though we're all a bunch of us are all vaccinated? There's no there is no logic to this at all. If you are vaccinated, you shouldn't have to ever wear a fucking mask again. I just don't get it.
Nope. Well, vaccination is supposed to protect you from the unvaccinated.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even if you get COVID, your body has at least a better chance of fighting off the infection than if you didn't have it. And even if you didn't have it, the likelihood of you dying is still insanely low, except if you have a comorbidity like obesity, like you mentioned before, and if you are, 70 or older.
Right. And they don't want to, they want to keep this power. They want to keep this fear going, and they want this control. They love it. They're not going to let go of it. They want to control you on where you sleep. They want to control when you get to go out. They want to control what school your kids go to. They want to control what your kids learn. They want this control, and they're going to keep it, and they're not going to put themselves through the sacrifice that they're going to put you through in order to get there.
And they're going to continue to gaslight us into oblivion. Sorry, Axio says, let them eat cake, London breed probably. And I think Aesop said, oh, Jesus. Aesop says, I don't understand why people are complaining. London breed was the first one of these who didn't, sorry, I messed up reading. I don't understand why people are complaining. London breed was the first one of these who didn't have the help wearing masks or holding dress.
He's talking about the Met Gala.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Met Gala. All right, let's keep going.
We're missing out on the fact that we have live performances. We in San Francisco have done an incredible job around COVID. Yes, we have challenges, but this is now a distraction. And I would hope that people would spend more time on enjoying San Francisco, of going to go see Maurice Mobetta.
All right, sorry, I had enough, Jay. We get the idea, Mayor Breed. You can shut the fuck up now. This is just Jay, look, I've complained about celebrities before in terms of how they lecture to us and they don't, abide by particular restrictions. And yeah, celebrities are one thing, but ultimately they're private citizens. They get to live however they want, and they could give a fuck about us. Elected officials in particular are specifically in power to serve us. Okay? That's how this shit works. Okay? They are there because the people elected them, if you want to get into voter fraud claims, they did, someone put them there. But in the case of a lot of these elected officials, they are there specifically to cater towards the whims and needs of the American people and their and basically any of their constituents. So when they go against their own policies, like you've seen it with Muriel Bowser, you've seen it with Gavin Newsom, you've seen it with obviously here with London Breed, Bill de Blasio, Eric Garcetti,
Andrew Cuomo, and his brother.
Cuomo. But his brother is obviously not an elected official, but he's just
Kim and his brother.
Done. Yeah, they just sucking the soul out of each other. They have no wiggle room. They have to be following the rules that they are advocating, and when they don't, and that happens time and again, Jay, we've seen it so many fucking times. It's the reason why Democrats ultimately are at the receiving end of my wrath, is because they always do this. They always say, they always go against what they say, and Republicans just don't give a shit. They specifically say they're not going to do that. They are very transparent about not doing that. And you almost have to respect them for not giving a shit, because they care. They make their intentions known, how little of a shit they give. Right. That's why people think I am a conservative just by default, because they think I'm only dunking on Democrats and not Republicans. Actually, it's mainly because of the hypocrisy that they constantly they reveal themselves that way, which means I have to constantly dunk on them to remind them how big of a hypocrite they are. So
right. And there's not many people who go and do that. I mean, you don't have that Glenn Dickface or Dale Dickface fact checkers really rarely going and fact checking the admin or Democrats as hard as they go on Republicans, or and not even president Republicans, just random Republicans or random fucking memes that are tweeted and stuff. And it's like, we fact checked this meme. Oh, thank you so much, you heroes. But did you go and want to see why the president of the United States said that they killed ISIS-K members instead of 7 children and their father and their whole family? You want to go and fact check that? I mean, what the hell? Like, holy shit!
I mean, Jay, we don't even have. I mean, like, there has been so much news. We can't even. I mean, like, we're gonna lightly touch upon that, but like, that wasn't even on the original rundown. That's how crazy this last week has been.
Oh yeah,
and honestly,
it's so much shit.
There's so much shit. Like, I did not think this was possible in the Biden era because Trump was just like a fire hydrant of fucking information and chaos coming out of the White House, and I'm just like,
breaking news,
yeah, breaking news, left and right, breaking news left and right. Trump tweets.
The president tweeted.
Trump is dunking on X, Y, and Z person, and it's just like it's nonstop, and like this is like everybody thought that like, oh, the adults are back in charge. America is back, diplomacy is back. In the span of last week, Jay. The Americans alienated our French allies so much so that they canceled the fucking gala at the French embassy in the U.S. in Washington because of a deal that they did with Australia and the UK. And then you have this UN General Assembly in which Biden, I don't even know what news came out of the UN General Assembly because that was like the lowest bottom feeding story because no one gives a shit about the UN. And then you have was his name the Prime Minister of the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson going into the White House and fucking chaos ensues. I actually have a clip of that. Let's go play that clip. Hold on 1 second. This is, and let me put some context on this. This is Biden and Johnson sitting in the White House Oval Office, and they are taking questions. Well, not taking questions. They're telling the press what they're doing, and then Boris Johnson takes a couple of questions, and then President Biden gives them the stiff arm. Here we go.
Interrupts or unbalances the Belfast Good Friday Accords. That's the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. That's the. And I think
I have no idea.
Thank you. Let's go. Thank you.
Let's go. Thank you.
But we feed them.
Yeah. It's so good. And it's hilarious because then like Jen Psaki was like, oh, that was totally not normal, and that came out of nowhere. He didn't even inform us that he was going to answer questions. And it's like, who the fuck do you think? People answer questions in that setting all the time, especially other leaders that are there visiting the White House. It happens. It's not like it's never done. I think
this is go ahead.
This administration has been more anti-press White House press pool than the last administration. Yeah, he called people names, and yeah, they got butthurt and they started crying to like fucking Brian Stelter about it or some shit because they're little bitches. But he was still up there answering questions. I think he was the most. The president who went up on that podium the most out of like some of his predecessors. I think he's been up there answering questions, pointing to people, getting feedback and all that kind of shit, and still calling Jim Acosta a little bitch because he is. But still, like it's amazing. It's night and day, and the press just takes it. They just take it. They don't come out and say this is wrong, or they don't like cause any kind of ruckus about it. I mean, slowly we're starting to see more and more people talk about, and all they say is like, this is not good. Oh, this is blah blah blah. Instead of when Trump says, he says like this guy's fake news, and then you have 30 journalists coming on Twitter. This is not who we are. This is tyranny. This is like a new authoritarian fascist. This is all this kind of shit. It's like fucking hilarious.
Jay, hold up, Jay. Did you just say tyranny?
Tyrant. This is new. This is a new tyrant.
Pretty sure you just said tyranny, not
I said tyrant. You can go back. You can
No,
go.
I'll go back. I'll go back and listen to it.
You can clip this. This is totally fine.
We're at the 55-minute mark.
good.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna make sure. I'm pretty sure you said tyranny.
No, clip it. It's fine. It's all good. But
Okay.
also we have your birthday tomorrow.
Oh, don't fucking distract me with that shit.
It's your birthday tomorrow, and I got you a couple of gifts. I do. At the end, I want you to go and open the body one live on air.
Oh,
you
bro.
you have to open that one. That one at least. The other one you can open tomorrow on your actual birthday. But that one you gotta open.
Okay,
on air.
can I just make my final point before I go get that?
Yes.
Okay, so Jen Yazaki basically said that Boris Johnson was at fault. She said, I think our relationship with the United Kingdom and with Prime Minister Johnson is so strong and abiding, we will be able to move forward beyond this. But he, Johnson, called on individuals from his press corps without alerting us to that intention in advance, which is just fucking amazing considering how, like, Jay, you ready for it? You ready for this?
Yeah.
How refreshing. How fucking refreshing this is.
How refreshing. And the fact that bitch hasn't come back on that, and he's like, I wrote that, and he was like so proud. He was so proud that we all saw him on his knees getting pissed on by Jen Psaki. Like, that's what he likes. That's what he likes. Brian Stelter loves golden showers from Jen Psaki. That's what it is. God, these people are so disgusting. They really are. Look, if you were at a number 11 in the last administration, that's your standard now. I am not going to accept you being any lower than that and holding people in power accountable. And they're not. They're not whatsoever. We're only 8 months in. The guy has an approval rating that is almost lower than the size of my dick. And it's just fucking insane seeing that the media is still trying to cover for him. It's mind-blowing.
I still can't get over the visual image of Jen Psaki pissing on Brian Stelter.
He's just gonna love it. He just loves it. He just sits there and takes it because he's
this is how I say goodbye to 33. To year 33. The image of Brian Stelter getting pissed.
Happy birthday! That's your third birthday gift right there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That truly was a gift of the ages, Jay. Thank you. I appreciate you and your friendship and Habibi bro. Oh, bro.
Habibi bro.
Should I go get it now?
Yes, go get it now.
Or should we do it at the end of the show? You want to wait till the end of the show?
Okay, let's wait till the end.
Let's wait till the end of the show. We'll wait till the end of the show. We'll do it during Ask Us Anything. But one thing that's also interesting, Jay, and we were talking, I know there was we didn't even, God, we like, I feel like we were going to try to plow through so many different stories, but we actually couldn't. Let's go to the Hunter Biden laptop story. The Hunter Biden laptop story is insane because what ended up happening, Jay, is that, remember back in October of 2020, we were entering the heat of the election season, and all of a sudden, the New York Post reported a story that Hunter Biden's laptop had been basically obtained, and they accessed all his emails, and they found that, all of these emails about business dealings with Burisma and this Chinese equity firm and X, Y, and Z, and this talks about money being exchanged and his father being involved.
Mm-hmm.
There's an author from Politico by the name of Ben Schreckinger, who is he just published a book titled The Bidens, and he has done some extensive reporting on this, but not to the point where it's not where it's satisfactory, because he couldn't get any answer from the White House. But what ended up happening was that a lot of the emails that were originally reported on in that New York Post story, Schreckinger found that there was evidence that some of the purported Hunter Biden laptop material is actually genuine including 2 emails at the center of last October's controversy. Now, this is from Politico Playbook saying, a person who had independent access to Hunter Biden's emails confirmed he did receive a 2015 email from a Ukrainian businessman thanking him for the chance to meet Joe Biden. The same goes for a 2017 email in which a proposed equity breakdown of a venture with the Chinese energy executives includes the line, quote unquote, 10 held by H for the big guy. Let me pull this up just so you guys can actually see what I'm reading. I'll zoom in here. You can see this particular line. 10 held by H for the big guy. H obviously being Hunter, big guy meaning Joe. And then in the playbook, this is the person recalled seeing both emails, but was not in a position to compare the leaked emails word for word to the originals. According to the Swedish government agency, the emails that were released also match emails in the leaked cache. And 2 people who corresponded with Hunter Biden confirmed that emails from the cache were genuine. And
the anals from the cache?
The anals, exactly, the anals. And then look at this little CYA move by Politico. It says, while the leak contains genuine files, it remains possible that fake material has been slipped in. Which, yes, that could very much be the case, but
right.
it is also a point in which Politico definitely did not want to sort of concede that they're reporting on this being sort of a Russian propaganda disinformation campaign against Joe Biden to help Donald Trump. They didn't want to have to issue an apology and retraction on their previous reporting on it. So they sneak in that little bit right there.
Right. And it's amazing that we're not seeing the same people, especially blue checks like Jake Tapper, for instance, who are excusing the censorship of the story back in 2020. He tweeted out that all New York Post has to do is just delete the tweet. And it's no, they don't need to do that. This is not up to Twitter. It's not up to Twitter. This type of information is not up to Twitter. If Twitter wants to be acting like a publisher, then that's perfect. And they are, because you also have Twitter moments and stuff like that where they publish and state what's going on certain issues. But the fact that you had the propagandists in the media, you had the operatives in tech squash a story that was going to hurt their candidate is absolutely fucking chilling and telling about who these people really are. I mean, it's fucking insane. And instead of them coming out and holding themselves accountable for stating that type of shit, none of them came out to say anything. Even Jonah Goldberg? Jonah what?
Let's go with whatever it is you just said.
Okay, Jonah Goldberg from the Dispatch, for instance, he went over on Jim Teacher for talking about the story, and he's like, "Wait, you actually take the story on face value?" And it's
that's right.
God,
yeah, responding to David French and Jim Treacher.
That's
real quick.
fucking insane.
Oh, it's hard to get out. Hello, sir. He says, "You guys are wearing your Hunter Biden T-shirts." Oh,
you motherfucker! You motherfucker!
Oh, you're making the Hunter Biden. We are a Hunter Biden fan club.
No, this is Habibi Bros. Kasamak. Habibi Bros.
Oh my God, this is probably going to be the next wave of the Habibi Power Hour drinking game. Every time I go blurry, you got to take a drink. Just Perfect. Like every time I say essentially, and Jay says 100%.
100%.
That's actually very good observation, Blake. We'll have to keep that going forward. Jay, you're gonna obviously have to point that out, because every time I don't realize every time I go blurry, and I feel like I now cannot get a new camera because
it's embedded it's
now part of the legend.
It's the character.
The Chronicles of Boomer Siraj continue.
It has to be there.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Anyways, so yeah, first of all, anyone who said that this particular story about Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation really has done a disservice to our country, to our elections. And look, I get it. People play dirty all the time. Okay. It's not uncommon for them to get down in the mud and say something is, say the sky is, the sky is, I don't know, Jay. What's a color that the sky can never be?
The color of your ass ring.
Let's say all right. But it could actually be the color of my ass ring.
Not if you bleach it.
Okay, then there's that. So you have tons of people, a lot of politicians, partisan hacks, you name it, telling us that the sky is the color of my ass ring when it's clearly the color of Jay's ass ring, and which is obviously
purple because it's purple.
Oh.
I dye it.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
because Dan's mom likes purple and she loves it when I'm sitting on her face and she sees a ring of purple. It almost looks like a rendition of a black hole, and she enjoys it.
She also likes the taste of pennies. So, this is all happening with this Hunter Biden laptop story. And look, Rudy Giuliani, definitely not the guy to market this story. He was the one basically coordinating with the New York Post reporters about the Hunter Biden laptop story. Could they have gotten a different person to do it and it would have been more credible? Sure. But you could have literally put up anyone and everyone probably would have said the same thing, that it's a Russian disinformation ploy. But the fact that they immediately dismiss it as Russian disinformation without actually looking into the facts of the story and then just dismiss it outright, specifically people within the media, shows you what the prerogative is and that they really are an arm of the Democratic Party. And I mean that, majority of the corporate media is definitely an arm of the Democratic Party. You can make the case that Fox News is an arm of the Republican Party, Newsmax, One American News, you name it. But they, these right-wing news channels and publications oftentimes don't get to dictate what the narrative is. It's usually a lot of the corporate media entities dictate the narrative, and it's always like the right-wing media reacting to it. Almost always, not always. There's some times in which you see, like Brian, right-wing media, they report on something, and then because Brian Stelter needs viewers and he needs journalists to watch him, he'll react in kind and say X, Y, and Z about what Fox News is doing. And it's just like a constant back and forth, and everyone gets tired of it.
Right.
But the fact that we have this issue here and the fact that everything's coming around here and we don't have 100% confirmation that everything on Hunter Biden's left 100%. Yeah. I said it. I got to do it. Because we don't have, we don't know the full extent of what is genuine on Hunter Biden's laptop, what emails were genuine. It is the job of journalists to find that story out. Let me play this little clip here from CNN. It was Christian Amanpour with then, let's say, RNC spokesperson Liz Harrington. This is October 2020. And mind you, I can't stand either of these people. Liz Harrington above all, because she definitely went off the deep end. That being said, watch this clip.
Okay, you know what also the United States government says? The FBI says this laptop is not Russian disinformation. So what are you talking about here? This laptop is real. It's not just the laptop. There's other emails. There's text messages. They are real. So according to the U.S. government, the FBI has verified this.
Everybody to look at that, but that's not what we're hearing from the FBI.
Why don't you want to report this? This is one of the most powerful families in Washington. The Biden family. And you're okay? You're okay with our interests being sold out to profit? Joe Biden and his family when we're suffering during a pandemic from communist China? He's doing shady business deals
Liz,
with
as you know
communist China.
perfectly
You're
well,
comfortable, okay?
As you know perfectly well, I'm a journalist and a reporter, and I follow the facts. And there has never been any issues in terms of corruption. Now, let me ask you this. Yesterday, the FBI...
Wait. How do you know that?
I'm talking about reporting and any evidence. I'm talking to you now.
Okay, I would love if you guys would start doing that digging and start doing that verification.
No, we're not going to do your work for you. I want to ask you a question. The FBI,
it's a journalist's job. It's a journalist's job to find out if this is verified.
I want to ask you a question about the FBI press conference.
So, Liz, as much as I can't stand Liz Barrington,
Liz, these nuts. Oh!
I knew that was coming. But I still thought, oh, maybe Jay isn't going down that route, and yet he did it. Thank you, Jay.
I go down.
Of course you do. Jay, look, as much as I do not like Liz Harrington because of how crazy she's gone, the worst person makes a valid point. That's a journalist's job, is to figure out what the fuck the story is.
Right.
And I don't understand. Aesop 369, thank you, says something tells me if it was an Eric Trump laptop, there would not have been an embargo. Absolutely. If it was anyone relating to the Trump family or any Republican, it would essentially 100% be covered, and it would be a front page story everywhere.
I'm all done.
Go fill up your drink, Jay. Go fill it up.
I don't want to because I'm wearing boxers and people are going to see me like half.
No, I want to see Jay. That's not.
I'm joking. I'm not wearing boxers. I'm wearing.
Okay. So whenever he gets back, we'll get to him in just a moment. But you get what I'm saying. People I get tired of this shit. I truly do. I get incredibly tired of all this shit. And there has been just so much bullshit surrounding this Hunter Biden laptop story. And even if it was, even if you want to make the case that it is, if you want to make the argument that, why are we talking about Hunter Biden? He's the son of a former vice president, now current president. At the time, why is Hunter Biden relevant? Well, the only reason he's relevant is to uncover how involved his father was in his business dealings. Because if, as much as Joe Biden talks about his family and he values family and loves his family, there's kind of blurring of the lines between family and business. And
did you know Bo died in Iraq, sir?
And oh God, Jay, don't even bring that up. I swear to God. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the fact that Joe Biden, you were right. I apologize, Jay. This is my mea culpa. You call it, you hit the nail on the head in the very beginning when Biden invoked his son after the Afghanistan withdrawal, because he has not he and the administration have not shut the fuck up about that. Bo Biden died. That's sad. It's tragic. Yes, it's tragic. He didn't die because of his service. He died of a brain tumor when he was basically discharged. I mean, at the age of 50 or 49 or 50 years old, he didn't die in combat. That is the and we were literally talking to, you invoked obviously the drone strike that happened in Afghanistan that killed 10 civilians, 7 of them children, and one of which was probably, I think they were actually doing work for the United States government, and the United States drone strike them, and no one's being held accountable for that shit. On top of that, Jen Psaki gets on the airwaves and says, as you all know, the president has experienced personal loss through the loss of his son, Bo, And of course, he takes this really hard. No, go fuck yourself. Like, this is seriously like the worst time to bring that shit up. We need to have answers. There needs to be some fucking accountability, and justice needs to be done for this family, in which 10 of at least fucking 10 of them, not even a single ISIS-K terrorist, died on that particular drone strike. Like, Jay,
it's disgusting.
Oh my God.
It's disgusting.
I mean, I have an aneurysm before my fucking birthday. Jesus.
When you talk about it too, like before this all happened, when they were saying this was a righteous strike, they were saying that they used Taliban fucking intel in order to make this strike happen. So it comes to me that I mean, it's my tinfoil hat on, but they killed an Afghan ally and his entire family because they trusted Taliban intel.
I didn't actually know that. That is obviously very disconcerting and depressing. And the fact that the United States would trust Taliban intel, I don't even fucking know what to do with that information. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I am gonna go ahead and get Ern. I'll be right back.
Oh, and get your gifts too, so I can see which one I want you to open on air. Okay,
all right, I'll get it right now.
They really are absolutely garbage. I mean, it's absolutely fucking insane that happened, and we don't have any answers to it. Nobody's asking those questions. It's absolutely mind-boggling to me. And the whole withdrawal in essence was a complete failure. And I said it from day one. If there's any Americans stranded, it's a failure. And before we even hear that Americans have been stranded, there are American deaths. So yes, it's a failure through and through. Whether or not we should have been in there or whatever your take is on that is totally fine. But there are two separate issues we can have at the same time. And the disingenuous pieces of shit that are out there.
Here are the gifts. Let me go get Ernie.
They just really don't know how to separate the two, because they were so for withdrawal that any way that it happened, it's a win for them. But you can be for withdrawal and be for holding these people who got everything so fucking wrong and responsible for these deaths and injuries and everything. You can hold these people accountable. That shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't have. Blake, I am drinking Angel's Envy. I fucking love this shit.
Yeah.
It's absolutely delicious.
What's that? I don't know if he's in focus or I'm in focus. Can you hear me, Jet?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't think that FedEx package is from me. What does it say? It's from who?
No, that's actually from my mother. Okay, we're gonna leave that to the side.
That's not for me. So the other one that I wanted you to open live is coming tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Then we'll just put this to the side. And
you can open those now. That's fine.
No. But Emily didn't go through it yet, so we'll do it.
Oh,
okay. Here he is. Oh, there we go.
Actually, it's fine. You can go ahead and open it right now.
No, Jay, I'm not going to do it.
I'm so bad at giving gifts because I want to see you open it. I want you to open it, please.
Jay,
it doesn't matter what's in it. I really want you to open it. I'm so bad at giving gifts. I tell people what their gifts are if I bought it in advance before their birthday hits. I'm that bad at it.
Damon says Emily has to check Siraj's mail in advance. No, it's not always. It's just Jay specifically.
I didn't order it as a gift, and I don't want him to see the bill on it or the receipt. But I don't give a shit. Open it. I want you to open it.
Okay, all right, I'll open it.
I want to see your reaction. I want to see if I got something that you like or not. That's what I like, because you're going to just open it when I'm not there, and you'd be like, "Oh, I loved it," and then you throw it away. And I don't want to. I want to see you throw it away like live in person.
Oh my god, really? All right,
I'm that anal at it. Like, I don't like giving gifts.
You really. All right.
I love giving gifts. I'm not a receiver. I'm a fucking giver. I mean, you can ask Dan's mom how deep I give it to her.
Okay. All right. Let's try to open this. Sorry, you got way off topic here talking about gifts and shit.
Well, it's your birthday, Habibi.
I know. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a show here. And there's some news. I remember how we did a show last year on my birthday, and it was just like I was so tired by the end. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh shit. Ooh, these are clean. Bro, thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
These are beautiful.
Hell yeah.
I love them. Thank you, Habibi.
I just hope they fit.
Oh, they should. What, you got 11 and a half, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, there you go. Oh, come on, Ern.
Is he licking them already?
Not licking him. He's over back here. He's trying to get out.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, let's put them up.
Oh, man, they do look really good.
What is great? Ooh, those are nice.
They're good? They're a good fit?
Yeah, they're a little tough to get on, but that's just because of my big fat fucking feet. Once you get them on, yeah, those are nice. Those are comfy.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Man.
Absolutely. Happy fucking birthday.
Thank you. Ernie, what are you doing? It's your moment here.
How are you that surprised, Damien? Like, you think this guy has like a box of tools somewhere and stuff? Of course he's not going to have a box cutter.
Actually, I do, but I didn't want to bring it. I didn't want to have it near Ernie. I'm like terrified of sharp objects around him. So, wait, hold on, no, hold on, wait, whoa, hold on, go back to that comment. Where's the? I'm surprised Siraj doesn't have a box cutter handy. This close to 9/11? Are you serious? Wow. Wow. That went right over our head. Wow.
It did. It fucking did. Jesus.
Ernie.
Oh, man.
He doesn't want to be around me. He smells food. He smells someone's eating out there and he wants to be around it. You want to go?
Oh, damn.
Okay.
I mean, usually, yeah, look at him. Look at it. He's like ready to get the fuck out of there. And it's your birthday, too. God damn it.
President Ern does what he pleases. He does what pleases him. Man, these shoes are clean. I would like these next, man.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you like them, dude.
I love them.
Because honestly, I wanted you to say if they were trash, you would say they were trash live on air.
Yeah, no, I would totally say they were trash live in there, but these are actually like a very nice colorway. Just some people think they're trash, and I'm sure they come a dime a dozen. But which one? Metcon. Not familiar. Are these like cross training shoes? What are these?
Yeah, they're supposed to be like trainers / like running shoes. So it's basically you can use them for anything.
Nice. Well, I'll use them for a lot of different things.
Hell yeah, especially to come in.
Just wear those as I'm pumping away, and that's it. Yeah. Kate then says, "Of course, the terrorists don't get the terrorist reference." Amazing.
Yeah. Look, Katie, we don't appreciate when you make fun of our heroes.
Yeah, and then where was it? Josh Goldsmith says Siraj is going to throw them at Bush. Oh man. Okay. All right. Jay, we were going to talk about Durham, but let's save that for the next show because I have not been well versed on that whole story just yet. I am actually more concerned about this right here. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. Give me one moment. Boomer Siraj strikes again.
Hell yeah.
Here we go. Pulling it up. This shit. Who's up for some shots? Let's just watch this.
Oh my god. Yeah. Please. Look at this.
Full screen it.
Look at this.
What the fuck?
My God, white people are just, oh my God,
out of control.
Oh, and he goes back to get the rest of it. Oh my God.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh.
Get it really.
Fuck. What is that? Oh, look at him go.
Who's up first?
That's hilarious.
That's insane. That's absolutely
that's
absolutely
one of the,
disgusting.
It's the most disgusting thing. And we listed him for that shit.
Yeah, absolutely did. You
Yeah,
should see the rest of his shit. Like he rates and eats mayo straight out of the fucking like package or bottle and shit. It's absolutely fucking horrendous. Horrendous.
Yeah. It's horrendous. All right. Because we're running out of time, our final story of the evening is surrounding the disappearance and death of Gabby Petito. Okay, sad story all around. It is, we don't know the full facts of the case. Okay, we're not here to talk about the full facts of the case because, let's be honest, Jay, we're fake news. We don't really know what the fuck we're talking about pretty much half the time. Right. This is the reason why we're talking about it, Jay, because there has been a lot of weird stuff happening on the end of how the media has been talking about it. And for some reason, Joy Reid of MSNBC figured that now is the time to talk about this in a racial lens. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's a clip.
But the way this story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name: missing white woman syndrome, the term coined by the late and great Gwen Ifill to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases involving missing people of color. Joining me now is Derica Wilson, co-founder and CEO of the Black and Missing Foundation.
Okay, so I almost let that clip run on for too long. But that was the particular point that Joy Reid was making, was that the media does not cover with the same intensity people of color missing as opposed to white women. And she's correct about that. That is a fair and valid critique to make. And I've thought a lot about, Jay, about, when is it appropriate to bring that point up? And honestly, I don't have an answer for it because it's never really an appropriate time. Here's the thing. Joy Reid she has her own, if only she had her own talk show that she could discuss the missing,
right?
The cases of missing people left and right.
Or had millions of followers.
And basically people who go missing and are either found or they're found either found alive or they're found dead. People go missing all the time. Like there's no like if we had only focused on missing persons, regardless of their color or creed or ethnicity or religion, it would be nonstop coverage nationwide of people going missing. And go ahead, Jay.
And it should be, but it took her wanting to shit on a dead white woman in order to bring on this other person.
Well, I wouldn't say she was shitting on Gabby Petito.
No, not that. But I'm just talking about shitting on this, like the importance of the story, or people really wanting to get to the bottom of it to bring on this woman who is a part of the organization of missing people and missing people of color and stuff.
So,
and it's like, why did it take until now for you to be reminded of this in order to bring these people on? They want to say that the people are suffering from, well, Joy Reid herself suffers from it because it took until now for her to actually bring these people on.
Yeah,
nothing stopped her from before.
Well, like only when she didn't have a show. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? There are a couple things at play here. Okay, for one, there's a lot of virtue signaling in play by the media, and it's pretty rich for the media to be criticizing the media about not covering stuff that should be covered in the media. In all honesty, people don't give a shit about missing people. I saw this really great piece by Shant Mesrobian, who writes on the Substack Inquire More. At least I think it's a Substack. It's definitely a Substack form. And he brings up the great point about how the reason why Gabby Petito, obviously, in the case of Gabby Petito, he writes, it's glaringly obvious why her case might receive attention in a way that those of other women might not. As an online travel blogger on platforms like YouTube and Instagram, Petito was a public personality who generated personal and intimate social media about herself for public consumption. The content she generated was in the travel-related nomadic lifestyle category that's often tagged with the hashtag van life, which has become a popular, trendy, aspirational category for both social media influencers and consumers. When it comes to stories of personal tragedy and violence, things like celebrity, notoriety, relatability, and accessibility are what elevate a story from a reporting footnote to a viral human interest story. And in that regard, the cases Reed herself mentioned, Lacey Peterson and Natalie Holloway, are perhaps even more instructive. And he goes on to say that basically the way that news channels, and this is largely in part the fault of the media for covering stories like these, because most Americans do not live in places that are really violent. Okay. It's not like a common occurrence to see someone get shot or kidnapped every day. That's just the reality for most Americans and just most people in the world. And so when the media is trying to drive ratings and clicks, they need violence to occur in a different context to try to get the audience emotionally invested. And they want to have it so that that violence is so unexpected, it's so random, so unwarranted, and in many ways hits close to home. And this is the point that Ms. Robian is making. And, most people view themselves as living sheltered lives, at least in, a suburban middle class neighborhood or community or town or city, you name it. And, well, obviously not suburban city, that doesn't make any sense. But a lot of them just feel like they're leading safe lives. And when it happens to, when something like when an act of violence like that happens to someone who is supposedly living a safe and sheltered life, it doesn't really matter what color they are. It doesn't matter what race or ethnicity or religion they practice. It is nonetheless shocking because most people believe that if it could happen to them, it could happen to someone like Gabby Petito or Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, it could happen to them.
Yep.
And it's not so much that, Gabby Petito is white. It has a lot more to do, obviously, with the things I said before. Although there is a tendency for the media to focus on white women going missing, it is more so the fact that they come from sheltered, suburban
backgrounds.
Lives. Yeah. And, of course, like, it's not a good thing that this is what they focus on because, there are plenty of people go missing and, Black and Latinos who go missing. You have, literally anyone under the sun. I mean, we can even talk about this whole migrant border crisis here. Like, think of how many people probably go missing due to human trafficking and human smuggling.
And hopefully
they're people of color. And they're people of color.
Yep. And hopefully
they are technically getting national coverage, but we don't get like the human interest element of it because they're talked about at in the tens of thousands and as a statistic, as opposed to individual stories, human interest stories that people can relate to.
We got the human interest stories when it was kids in cages under Trump. Why didn't we get the same kind of?
Well, but Jay, we that we didn't get individual stories. We just were told
right. But it was a huge
like like however many people were going to be in cages. That was a horrific thing happening, and therefore everyone should be invested in it because Orange Man back, right?
Yeah.
It just so happens that because Donald Trump was president, now a lot of people on the left, people who are, fervent
The loudest
Trump critics, liberals, progressives, never Trumpers, they now have to hold Biden to that same standard. So I think that's probably why you're seeing the situation and some of the outrage with respect to the border right now.
Right.
In that President Biden is carrying out similar policies to Donald Trump, and therefore, what the fuck? Like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing this to Haitians of all people who are dealing with so much political instability, massive earthquakes, poverty? I mean, Haiti's the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, and they share a border with the Dominican Republic, and the DR does not give a fuck about them. In fact, I almost feel like there is and here we go, putting on the tinfoil hat again. I almost feel like there's a concerted effort from entities like the Clinton Foundation and humanitarian organizations to constantly get money from wealthy donors to say, they were going to give this money and build schools and shit like that in Haiti, and that money like never comes to fruition in the form of like actual progress. Right. The money just stays within the powerful, wealthy elite, and everyone's corrupt in the government, and you don't see any change. That's and the fact that you have a presidential assassination in Haiti, sure, it should shock a lot of people, but probably doesn't shock that many people, considering that Haiti has like the lowest GDP in the Western Hemisphere. Sorry, I went on a rant there.
It's all good, Habibi.
Anyways, what I meant, I feel like I got way off topic here. I know we were talking about Gabby.
We did.
Sorry, that was a big tangent. But to get back to the Petito, and I'll turn things over to you because I've been talking for way too long. Like, why do you think people like Joy Reid and a number of other media personalities figured like now is the right time to racialize this story? I think there's a lot of intriguing elements about this Petito disappearance and death, and the fact that her boyfriend / fiance isn't answering questions from the police. Like, yeah, that's pretty fucking bizarre.
No, it is. And there's a lot of different elements that came into it as well, especially like viral videos, different kind of things that people were watching that made it even more capture the attention of people. And the reason why people like Joy Reid are capturing this right now to sit on it and to talk about it is so they can pretend. And this is the fact. Even though Joy Reid is black, they can pretend that there's some righteous individuals that actually cared about these issues all along. And she's had this show for how long? 5 minutes? 5 days?
She's had this show, I think, since the beginning of the year. I mean, she's like but again, that is just a weeknight primetime show. She has had a weekend morning show for several years. So she definitely several years. But like, this is the thing.
That's where I'm talking about it. She's had these platforms for several years and never mentioned it. But now,
I mean, but again,
can come into this environment where race is like a huge talking point in a way that you can artificially put yourself on a pedestal and make yourself be a righteous looking person.
Jay, there's so much virtue signaling happening right now in the media with respect to this, and I feel like I'm gonna have an aneurysm because of this. Because, like, look, people naturally do not give a shit about others. People are just naturally selfish. They only want to focus on things that are relatable to them. That's why Eliza dunks on me so much, because with respect, she's like, oh, not everything's about you, Siraj. Like, damn, you got me. Like, yeah, but like that is most people. Like, they always, everybody thinks about themselves in some way, shape, or form. Like, when it comes to the news, like, how does this affect me? Okay, how does this affect me? If you see a random disappearance of someone you've never met before, coming from a different part of the country or different part of the world, and you can't relate to them in even a slightest sense, why should anyone give a shit about it? Okay.
Exactly.
Why should anyone give a shit about it? And newsrooms understand that because they understand that most people cannot relate to people going missing and being and living in violent communities or, you know, violent countries, you name it, and having to deal with that shit every day. Like, we don't talk about like all the cartel. Remember back in 2014, there was actually a wild story happened in 2014. I remember 2014, 2015. There were in Mexico, in a random town, there were like, I want to say close to maybe 24 and possibly more. And I'm going to look this up. There are possibly more than 24 students in Mexico that just went missing, like disappear without a trace. I don't even know if we actually gone and and actually found them. But the presumption is that they all died and were all killed by the cartel. But it made it to CNN. I don't know if it was a story that, you know, like led the front page of like the Washington Post and the New York Times or you name it, but it was a very bizarre story. And, you know, that's something that like, that's a statistic. That's like a number of people. That's like a big chunk of people right there that goes missing. That's bizarre. Okay.
Yeah.
You see that happen here in the United States? That is fucking that you know, it doesn't matter you know, where they come from. That is like a front page news story. But again, I've been proven wrong before, so anything can happen. But
it's happened. We've both been.
But like just in the last year, like Jay, so Gabby Petito, while she may not be like a household name, she still had like a public persona. She had a public presence in the sense that she was a travel blogger, a travel vlogger as well. Let's take the case of Naya Rivera.
And she had some following and stuff as well.
She did have a following. But Naya Rivera, who was the Glee actress, tragically passed away, but she went missing first. She went missing after a boating trip with her 4-year-old son, and she tragically drowned. She was not a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
It was leading a lot of different news programs that Naya Rivera was missing. I happen to recall seeing a lot of coverage on her in the lead up in the search for her. And that was, I mean, after doing extensive searching, after a few days, they finally found her body. And it's obviously tragic how they found her because her son, who was only 4 years old, was found alive and basically without a mother. But like, that's like another thing where like, you know, that person was a celebrity. They had been on, you know, TV in a show that a lot of people watched and could try to relate to. So they related to her and her character. And, I mean, like that, again, that was like the last example before Gabby Petito of someone going missing and then turning up that. I've seen Matt Walsh try to argue that, and you know, I don't know if he's like splitting hairs or not, but he has talked about how like, you know, people in inner cities die of gang violence every day, and he posted like a video of a mother getting shot in a drive-by and being killed while holding her baby daughter in her arms, and people were trying to come after him saying like, this isn't the same because the person didn't go missing first. Well, like the end result is that they both died.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know why
you don't get any coverage on that.
Well, I mean, I know we don't get any coverage on that. Like we don't get any coverage on like, you know, Chicago violence or New York violence or you know, violence in LA or you know, gang violence in general, because it's just so common. But like, it's just, for some reason, we are all fighting each other about different forms of violence and what forms of violence are supposedly worse than others or more righteous than others, or just how we talk about them. And I can't help but think that we are just like fighting each other just to fight with each other.
No, that's exactly what it is. A lot of the times, that's exactly what it is. That's why she brought it up the way that she did. is just so you can have other people fight about it. That you can have people like Matt Walsh react to it the way he did and start other topics of fights and just keep on building onto it and having more and more people engage into it. Because the thing is that even if it's a negative engagement, it's engagement, and they want that. They want that engagement. And negative engagement gets more passionate. It gets more eyes. It gets more people coming into the conversation and engaging on the story. So I think they are more inclined to have negative to try and get negative reactions instead of trying to get positive reactions. That's what I think that the where they lie right now. And
Jen
also
says,
it depends.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, and it also depends on how well it can push forward the policies that they want made.
Yeah.
That's why you have school shootings being more looked at than gang shootings.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about school shootings is, again, everybody feels they live a safe, sheltered life. So when the school shooting happens, that hits the front pages of every single newspaper, news channel, you name it, because you have a shocking act of violence happening in a place where that shit typically doesn't happen. But at the same time, Jay, we've been so desensitized over that particular aspect over the last 20 years that we see another school shooting, we're like, oh, here we go again. Like that's how fucking like dejected we all are about it, and it's terrible. Like the fact that like we are all desensitized to it makes this shit even worse. So I just want to point out to this comment. Jen says, when you're a parent, you can relate to anyone going missing. You immediately think of your child. And yes, that is something I cannot relate to because I am not a parent. I am only, I only have a dog and a wife who left me. So, but yes. Damon says, negative engagement is all I get. Get wrecked, Brooklyn dad, you lib.
I mean, you're drinking fucking ranch. At least go get blue cheese, you fucking white trash. Jesus.
Get wrecked, Damon. Absolutely get wrecked. Okay, so we are going to, before we get to our favorite segment, and that is Ask Us Anything, just a very quick, brief PSA. Obviously, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And we don't have a big spiel for you tonight, but what we do want to share with you is this petition from Renee Marsh, who is trying to advocate for the federal government to provide more funding for childhood cancer research. And obviously, I think it's a bipartisan thing in which everybody feels, unless you're a monster, that children should just never have cancer. And the fact that a lot of bio research companies and pharmaceutical companies look at it as a profit because they don't make money from childhood cancer drugs or childhood cancer treatment, they just don't invest in it. And so as much as I don't trust the federal government, this is the only time in which they could probably step in and try to actually put valuable taxpayer money into something that actually is a good cause. So if you haven't already signed the petition by Renee Marsh, who lost her son Blake this past year to a brain tumor, definitely check it out. It is on change.org. It is Cancel Childhood Cancer. I'm going to drop the link for all of y'all in the chat so you guys can go ahead and basically get signed up. All right.
I'm right now signing the petition. Sorry.
Good.
And just put in, I'm just putting a $30 donation on it. I wish I could share I could, but I'm a boomer. And also you probably be able to see all of my credit card information right now.
Jay, I'll get your credit card one way or another.
You got it, baby.
Hell yeah. All right, so now we get to our favorite segment here, Habibis, and that is, where is it? I lost it amongst the banners. There we go. Ask us anything. So Habibis, go ahead, ask us any of your questions. We usually do this much earlier in the program, but there were just way too many stories to cover, Jay.
There were. That's why we're gonna go ahead and hit a second
live show. We got to hit a second live show. So Habibi, hit us with your questions. Hit us. Oh, Harkirak says, can you play the? Oh, actually, Nick says, can you play the new vaccine rap? Give me a moment while I pull that up. In the meantime, here is the old vaccine rap.
Do it. I'm gonna do this until you play it.
I got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people. Let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days, measles and mumps, man. Back in the days, but because of the vaccines, none of those saved. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
Okay, you ready for this, Jay?
Let's hear it.
You ready for this shit?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Let's go. This is the new vaccine rap. Okay, get ready for it.
All the experts that have said it, how do you
Can
not
you hear
get
it?
it? Vaccines are safe, used for protection. It's proven that they'll help it. You'd rather take ivermectin? A science lesson from a child. This is wild. You think lies are true because fake news make you blind. We don't trust the media. It's all lies. You keep ranting, but you're not really understanding. Oh, and another thing, Mr. Facebook is enlightenment. Don't lecture me about research. You didn't do any of it. I trust the people who spent years learning about this shit while you were off doing whatever it is you did. Unwilling to listen, your hesitance sets a precedent. Evidence is all around, but you pretend it isn't. Ignorant, you mad as a hatter, son. Take the vaccine or you'll be in worse shape than the damn climate is in.
Wow. Stunning.
Right. I can't believe she just went out there and completely admitted she doesn't have her ass eaten. Just absolutely fucking crazy to me. And worse than our climate is in. I don't know. I mean, climate seems pretty fine. We were promised like insane hurricanes in the 90s. So I was promised that Miami would be underwater in 2014. New York would be gone. I mean, in all seriousness, out of all of the predictions that they said it was going to be horrible, we're in pretty good shape, I think. I mean, that's the problem when you go like over and beyond when it comes to climate. But yeah, and Jen, acid rain, exactly. I mean, they made it out like your car's paint was going to melt off of your car in 2005.
I'm seeing. Hold on 1 second.
Damien, you just did a video of you taking a shot of fucking ranch. Shut the fuck up. Imagine having the self-confidence to try and pull that off. Bitch, did you just see what we played? Like, holy fuck.
Do I have to remind you, Damien?
Purple rain.
Do I have to fucking remind you, Damien? I'm going to fucking remind you today, sir. How dare you, sir?
Look at it. You even hear him.
That's some ASMR type shit right there. You think this lib has any shame whatsoever?
Imagine having the self-confidence to think that his lick game. Look at him. I mean, he didn't even go all the way into the end. You think? Look, not even all the way to the end. You think this is gonna get anyone? I mean, come the fuck on, Damien. Jesus Christ.
This motherfucker comes in here. This motherfucker comes in here popping off, talking shit. And
I mean, at least lick the glass clean.
Yeah.
At the very least. And you can't even do that.
You're already recording yourself. You might as well do a good job. The fucking caucasity of this bitch.
Look at that.
Gotta.
Jay, is this not the whitest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, god damn it is. God damn it is.
Just amazing. Just
Jesus Christ.
wow. Wow. Blake says, who's the next big interview? Love the Ben Shapiro interview. Actually, we have an interview coming from inside the house, Jay. Who are we interviewing, Jay? Next week.
We're interviewing, and I can't believe Fuzzy's not here, but
I know,
we're interviewing Katie Hyde next week.
It's not Kate. I mean, you could say Katie Hyde, but it's just Kate Hyde. So
Dude,
she'll be
white woman named Kate, white woman named Katie. They're both blonde and white, so it's like
essentially
100%. God damn it, dude! Shit.
Yeah.
You're making me finish the bottle off.
Oh, we're under 69 minutes until I turn 34. Shit, I forgot to put out something at 10:51 saying it's 69 minutes until my birthday, but whatever. I'm doing a show. Who gives a shit? Right. Rachel says you skipped my question. What was the? Let me go find it.
Katie, you gotta be in a fucking burqa when you do this. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it's
she's
just the way
gotta
it
be.
is.
Rachel says my best friend's husband, so also one of my besties is is dying of glioblastoma. I know he is not a kid, but he is only 38. But would it be okay if I shared the GoFundMe we're creating? Absolutely. Please share
Absolutely.
it. We can absolutely do that. Look, cancer fucking sucks. I have lost a lot of people to it. And I do not wish that shit on anyone.
No. It's horrible. It's horrible to watch. It's horrible to see, especially when it's a family member, or if it's a child, or if it's somebody you know. It's hard to see them go through those stages. It really is.
Yeah,
And
it really is. Yeah.
it is.
Anyways, I don't want to end it on a sad note. So Habibis, go ahead and ask us a few questions, and then we'll take it out of here.
And also, fuck all you guys on the Discord server saying that I would have to go pee before the 69th minute. We are way over that, and you can suck this dick. I gotta pee so bad, but I'm really holding it right now. For a guy that's 5'4" who has a 3-inch bladder, I'm doing pretty well.
Jay, did you hear my TikTok idea?
What was it?
I texted it to you earlier about how it was a working theory about or not working theory, but a working idea of you know how men say never trust a fart?
Right.
Why would I ever stand up and pee? Therefore, men should sit down when they pee.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Holy shit,
this
yes.
is common sense. This is common sense.
Kate,
all men should sit down while peeing.
They should. And Katie is pretty hard that I called her Katie, but it's not piss. It's actually it's actual whiskey. I mean, I'm finishing it off.
Kate says Jay peed into that bottle before he came back and pretended it was whiskey. Amazing. President Mitch, I meant to respond to says, Siraj, did Ben Shapiro mention you listing him when you asked him to come on Habibi Power Hour? No, never.
No, he didn't. We should have asked him that. We should have asked
I really
him
wanted to.
How was it to be put as a Jew? How was it to be put on a list by a Muslim?
Oh my god! And now I'm out of focus again. Drink, everyone, drink. I actually.
No, I'm done with my bottle.
I'm done. I'm done here. Hobby says, "The fuck did I come back to?"
That's what you get for leaving.
Yeah. Yes, that Dick says, "Can you hit my super chat so we can do shots together, fam?" Where is your super chat? Did you send it? You can also send Rumble Rants. We'll check out your Rumble Rants, although it doesn't get integrated into StreamYard. We're still figuring that shit out.
Not yet. They're figuring that stuff out. If we just did live on Rumble, we could like click on your stuff, but it's just easier.
Yeah. Let's see.
Jay, Katie is my name. Don't let Siraj shame you. Don't
I'm gonna
worry.
shame.
It doesn't, like, I am never shamed on the way I pronounce names. I feel a little bad if they're a friend or something, but at the end of the day, they know what they're getting into.
Mm.
And you're out of focus. Drink.
Yeah. Oh,
fucking boomers! You still didn't find his thing.
What?
Did you find his?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm looking for it. I didn't even know if you sent it.
I don't even know. Honestly, he probably.
Katie, dumb blonde, all the same.
It happens.
Your words, not ours, Katie.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean.
And Harkarat says, Jay, pronounce my name correctly, LOL. Also, Jay always pronounce my name correctly, sir.
Hakarat. Well, the thing is like when it comes to like Pakistani names, Indian names, Arabic names, I can pronounce them pretty fucking well. But when it comes to English names, fuck you, imperialist bastards. I will say it wrong, even on purpose.
You know, Jay, I actually think you're probably a pretty big lib.
Me being a pretty big lib? I mean, well, honestly, it's not really conservative to eat ass. It's pretty liberating, especially for their moms. But I mean, when it comes to certain policies, like people taking my money, I'm pretty conservative on it.
Pronounce that name, Jay.
Dov Jones.
It is Dewa Jones.
Dov Jones.
Dawe or Jonas.
Dave Jones.
Dawe Jonas. I can only wonder how many Habibis legitimately think my name is pronounced Damien because of Jay, says Damien Toll.
Yeah, it's Damien. That's Damien.
Yes, that Dick says, I think we need to start drinking when Siraj is actually in focus for the sake of our livers. Too fucking bad. And Zachary Wilson says, Dawa Jonas.
It's Dow Jones or holy shit, I've lost all my money.
Yo, we haven't even talked about the market collapsing. It's going to happen.
Oh, it's coming.
Come. As always, before we leave, this is our plea to Jennifer Rubin. Please join us on Habibi Power Hour. I promise we will be we'll be so nice to you.
All I want to ask is like how you have these genius takes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I want to ask.
I'm telling you, Miss Rubin, it will not be like this.
I said they were Democrats. All right.
Yes, which also isn't true. Actually, the only Democrat was Chris Wallace.
No, Ms. Raddatz and Mr. Cooper are Democrats. You did not know that?
You've made excuses for the lock her up comment. You've pleaded with Ted Cruz, and he's really an honest man.
When did I make excuses for lock her up? What did I exactly say?
Let's see. That would have been on. Let's see if I have the date exactly. It would have been on.
Oh, let me see.
Lock her up would have been on. In April and also in August.
Let me see.
Rather, in October, if you remember, Charles Krauthammer came on and had a very vigorous argument.
Wait a minute. What did I say about in April and August? What exactly did I say?
Right. Well, we can go through all of them.
No, I want that one.
Right.
Which one in particular?
April or August?
Okay. Let's see. In August, let's see.
In August?
We had comments that you were going to, if somebody is being really dishonest, referring to the press corps, you would strip them of their credentials as well. Doesn't sound like an independent thing.
That doesn't have anything to do with lock them up. You are ill prepared for this interview, Ms. Rubin. Ms. Rubin, I have just given you a minute where you've hemmed and hawed. You said you said I justified a comment, lock her up. You can't point to it.
Getting anally owned by Bill O'Reilly. Imagine.
And this is the point I want to make. This is the point I want to
not,
make. Your column
No.
are a fraud.
Honestly, Jen Rubin, this was an assault on you as a woman. This was misogyny, and we want you on our show so we can hear your story.
What did I say?
This is what we want.
You said that it was a perfectly defensible position.
You've been brutally raped by Bill O'Reilly, and we want your story.
Read it. Read my comment. Do you have my comments there? Read them.
I don't have them word for word,
You're
but I have the date.
I don't have them word for word.
I'll put them up at my website.
I'll put it on my website.
You know how many people are going to come to your website? 0. Because you're not an honest analysis person.
God, that beautiful smile at the end.
So bad. So bad. It's so good. It's so bad, yet it's so good. Oh, my God.
Jen.
Oh.
Whatever you're doing, stop.
Oh,
stop it, Jen.
So good.
Just
so
come
good.
on our show. Just do it.
Come
Don't be like
right
that.
on our show.
Right on our show. Just come on our show. Just come on our show.
Just come.
Oh, that's all you have to do. Come on our show once, and then don't stop coming on our show. You know what I mean, Jay?
Especially for the Habibis.
I love how we, said we had so many stories to cover, and then we bullshitted at least like half the time.
It's the way we do it. It's the way we do it. Just like I lick Dan's mom's ass. It's the way we do it.
Jen says, I feel like y'all are flirting with me. Oh, is that you, Jen Rubin? Wow. I really hope it is. Man. I hope Jen Rubin has been watching the show the entire time. I had like a secret admirer who's been memeing me this entire time. It was really just Jen Rubin all along. Could have been us. Really could have been us. Jay, anything else before we go?
No, that's it. I mean, I drank this whole bottle. I still haven't had to go pee yet, so we're good.
All right. Well, Jay, I release you of your urine.
Thank you. I'm peeing
Habibis excellent. That's perfect. I'm glad we got to do a longer stream tonight. It feels nice. It feels nice to do it. We don't feel rushed.
Right.
Yeah. So, for the Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And thank you for joining us for another Habibi Power Hour. Hope all of y'all had a good night. And we'll keep you posted on our next show, our next live show. It might be Friday, it might be Saturday. We'll keep you posted. But either way, as soon as we figure that out, we will tell all of you. Except I won't tell Jay because I want him to be completely caught by surprise, as always. All right, Habibis. Love you. Have a good night. Peace it.
بحبكم.